Hi everyone, thank you so much for choosing to watch this particular video. I know there's loads of stuff you could be watching, but hopefully you've clicked on this one because you want to learn how to start becoming a stand-up comedian. And that's what this video is all about. I'm going to give you 5 steps to put yourself on the path to working or becoming a stand-up comedian. So, if you don't know who I am, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. The Giggle Shack is the name of the comedy club that I run across 5 different venues in Runcorn, Widnes, Helsby and just outside Chester. And I was a stand-up comedian on the UK circuit for about 4 or 5 years, from 2018 to the start of 2019. And during that time, I actually set up my own comedy nights called the Giggle Shack. And I decided after a couple of years of doing that, they were going really well. The gigs were great. I got a couple more venues. I thought, if I want to do something in comedy and work in comedy, this is my best bet, because people always say to me, like, can anyone become a stand-up comedian? Now, right, when I say this next bit, just don't turn this video off. Bear with me, because the answer to the question, can anyone become a stand-up comedian, is no. Not everyone can become a stand-up comedian. I know that sounds like bad news and a bit doom and gloom. However, here's the good news. Anybody can try to become a stand-up comedian. There's no one stopping you from giving it a go than yourself. So there's the good news. The actual becoming a stand-up comedian and going full-time, that's the difficult bit. And how I started in comedy is I've always loved comedy. I'm obsessed with it. I love like Morecambe and Wise, the Two Ronnies, Dad's Army, the Royal Family, the Fast Show. I could talk about comedy all day. So I wanted to do something different. I had a boring 9-to-5 job that I hated. I kind of felt a bit trapped. So I thought, right, people always said to me, like, you should give stand-up comedy a go. So I was like, okay, well, how do you do it? Because it seems like so inaccessible, what it did back then. It might be different now with social media, because you can see more stuff, what's going on in the clubs and stuff. But I had no idea, so I just tweeted Sarah Millican. Don't know why. I just tweeted her and said, I'm thinking of getting to stand-up comedy. How do I get started? I've got no idea. And she just very kindly just tweeted back the link to a name of a club in Manchester, and I'll tell you the name of the club at the end of the video. You can go and sign up to do a gig there. So that's how I got started in comedy. So here are my 5 steps of how you can start to become, or try to become, a stand-up comedian. So step 1 is start going to your local comedy clubs. Now, I didn't know, this is like back in 2010, I didn't know there was a whole kind of circuit of clubs out there. I just thought, there was the Comedy Store, there was other big venues, and then you go and do them. If you're any good, you get on the telly, and then you start going to theatres, and that's pretty much how I thought it worked. I'd only ever seen comedy on the television. I'd seen like Live at the Apollo, and I'd been to see people like Jack Dee, Mickey Flanagan, and Frank Skinner in theatres, but I'd never been to a comedy club where there's like 3 or 4 different acts and a compere and all of that. I didn't know that existed. So that would be the first step. If you've got a comedy club in your area, hopefully it's the Giggle Shack, just go along and get a feel for it, see what it's all about, get the atmosphere. Most of the times, the gigs are absolutely lovely. The atmosphere is amazing. It gives you a real buzz. But sometimes they're a bit tricky because people are too drunk and they start shouting out and there's heckling. So you want to learn and get a feel for what kind of things can happen at a comedy club. So there's step 1. Dead easy, that one, isn't it? Go to your local comedy club. Now, step 2. This is all about kind of your material now. This is the way I got it when I was doing comedy. And I still tell jokes now and then. People might disagree when they come and see me. It's just start making a note of things, either things that you say, things that you've done in your life, like funny stories from holidays, nights out, work, or whatever, dating. Start making notes of things. And I'm a big people watcher. So the best thing about working in comedy is if you're a people watcher, you can kind of say it's your job. Just listen out, get on the bus, listen to conversations that people are having, listen to people in the pub, just observe, just start like taking in what's going on around you, because funny things are said and done every single day unintentionally. So just have a sharp ear, listen out to stuff, and just get on your phone and just note it down. Obviously, if you overhear something funny, don't go over and say, do you mind repeating that for me, please? Just make a note and then go back home and find out where you can kind of go with the stuff that you've heard. So that's step 2, start noting down funny things. Step 3, now you might think this is a bit early, but I would say just get a gig. Go to the Frog and Bucket website. I'll put the link in here. That's the club that Sarah Millican sent me to. It's called the Frog and Bucket. On a Monday night, they have a thing called Beat the Frog, which is what they call a gong show, where you go along, you get a maximum of 5 minutes to make the crowd laugh. If the crowd don't like you, 3 members of the crowd get given cards. And if 2 of those people don't like you, they hold the cards up, then bosh, you get gonged off the stage. You walk back through the audience with your head bowed down while the DJ plays Loser by Beck as you're trudging back through the crowd. It is a tough character building experience, but that's how you get started. Pretty much, if you watch comedy, excuse me, if you're from the Northwest, pretty much every comedian that you see on podcasts like Have a Word, or you see, headlining shows at Hot Water and loads of other clubs, pretty much every one of them would have started at Beat the Frog. I would recommend you go and give that a try as well. That's what I did at first. I went to watch that. So yeah, get a gig. Now you might think it is a bit early, but if you've got the gig, it gives you something to work towards. I'm very much a kind of mañana person. I'll put everything off to the next day if I can get away with it. But what I done, I got that gig, and it was a few months in advance, so I had plenty of time, but it focused me. It could be a bit of focus, give me a bit of direction, something to work towards, and a deadline that I knew I had to meet. So get yourself a gig, get it booked in, bite the bullet. It'll be very nerve-wracking. You'll be nervous for about 3, however long beforehand, but get it booked in. It's the best thing that you can do. Now, step 4, this is quite important, I think, when you're starting comedy, is try not to overthink things, as in, what's your style going to be? What kind of jokes are you going to write? What kind of topics are you going to cover? Just do what comes naturally to you. Just talk about the things that you think are funny. Talk about your everyday life. When you first start, it's not really that important what your material's like. It's just make people laugh or what you're talking about. Because if, like you're like me, straight white male, when I first started out on the circuit, I was single, I was doing the internet dating. So I was talking about that. Not particularly original, but it was my take on it. We all live pretty normal lives, most of us anyway. We've got mortgages, some of us have got kids, some of us are married. Just talk about what you think is funny. It's your own unique take on those subjects that count, not so much worrying about, oh God, if I talk about internet dating, doesn't everyone talk about that? It's your own unique way of doing it. Don't also overthink what your style's going to be. What kind of comedian you're going to be. Are you going to be like Lee Evans, where you're all over the stage? Are you going to be like Jack D, who's really laid back, quite deadpan? You'll work that out on the stage. The best thing is just get that gig, get up on stage, and then just get more and more stage time, and then you'll figure out what your kind of voice and what your style is as you go along. So don't worry about it at first. Just get on stage, start making funny things come out of your grid, and go from there. Now, step 5, this is the most important part, because stand-up comedy is tough. It's a tough game. A lot of people think that, they say to you, if they've not done it, getting up on stage and making people laugh is hard. And obviously it is, otherwise we'd all be doing it. But once you're up there, once you've done it and you found your feet and you're starting to find a bit of success, the hardest part is progressing, because it's very competitive. There's more comedians now, excuse me, there's more comedians now than there's ever been. And you think about your normal job. If you're working in an office and you want to become the manager of your team, if your manager leaves, then you've got a chance to move up and take a job or his job, or the other opportunities come up and you can apply for that and go for it. In comedy, nobody that's headlining the big comedy clubs all of a sudden goes, I'm going to go back on the bins, and the opportunities don't come that way. The opportunities come by you being better or as good as them and finding making sure everyone knows who you are and fighting your way to the top, because it's very competitive. It's really, really difficult and it's really hard. So if you don't enjoy it, then it's not going to be for you. So it can give you so many amazing opportunities. Like, I run my own comedy clubs now, and I love absolutely every minute of it. It's stressful. The journey to get there was tough, but I enjoyed every single gig that I've done. Even the bad ones, you look back, there's some gigs. I'd done a gig up in Cumbria, died on my backside within the first minute. So this gig was to a load of sheep farmers, right? I decided within the first minute, I thought it would be funny to suggest to a bloke on the front row that he has romantic tete-a-tetes with one of his flock. So he didn't think it was funny, and neither did the other 99 people that were in the room. They spent the next 14 minutes of my 15-minute set staring at me as if I just said, I'm going to go around the house and carry on with the wives/sheep. But it was horrible at the time. I could actually hear the sweat dripping down my teeth. It was that horrible. But now you look back and laugh about it. So yeah, you've got to enjoy it because it is absolutely amazing. So there you go. Quick recap. Step 1, go to your local comedy club, see what it's all about. Step 2, start becoming observant, noting down funny things. Step 3, this is the biggest one, get a gig, have something to work towards, give yourself a deadline. Step 4, don't overthink it, just focus on writing down things that you think are funny. Don't worry too much about what other people are going to think. Just make it funny, get on stage, and you'll work it out yourself. And step 5, just enjoy it. Stand-up comedy is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I had my own Edinburgh show. I've been up and down the country. I've got loads of amazing friends. It gave me a new lease of life. It gave me loads of confidence. Now, stand-up comedy isn't just about becoming, or trying stand-up comedy for everybody isn't just about becoming a comedian. That was my goal. I wanted to become a full-time comedian, try and get on the telly, a bit of success and all of that. That's what I wanted. But other people though, some people want to do it to get over anxiety, to become more confident, and just change that, give them a bit more self-worth, if you like. So, success for you could just be going out and getting that first gig. Whatever your reasons to do it, just go and give it a go. I'm aware that I've probably rambled a little bit at the end there, but if you've enjoyed it or if you get something from it, if you need any advice, my email address is on the bio, I think. Or go to the website, get in touch with me via there. Just drop me a message. I'm more than happy to tell you about different clubs that are on, give you a bit of advice. Always happy to help people that want to get work in comedy. It seriously is. If you give it a go, it could end up being the best thing you've ever done. And if you get on stage once and you don't get any laughs, you know what? You've done more than millions of others would ever do. So don't beat yourself up because you've given it a go. So if you've enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel. The channel is mostly just me getting out about, having a laugh, going out with my girlfriend, Jen, going on holiday, and I do film some of the comedy nights as well, a bit of food and all that. It's a bit of fun. If you've liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what kind of stuff you want to hear. And also, get in them comments, let me know who your favourite comedian is. If you've been to a comedy club, if you've tried comedy, if you've seen me, you might have seen me back in the day. You might have seen me at the Edinburgh show, actually. That was funny. In fact, talking of my Edinburgh show, there is another video on here from Hot Water's Green Room podcast with Paul Smith, and they talk about the show. They came to see my show, and the show didn't quite go to plan, let's put it that way. So go back and have a look. And yeah, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. Get in touch, and I'll see you soon. Bye.